In today's video, 5 tips on how to make it as a 3D artist. This video has been made possible by Rebus Farm, the professional render service. Okay, well, in front of you, you see 2 pictures of a fence, right? And before I go into this, I want to ask you which one of these 2 looks most appealing. Now, hopefully you said the one on the right. Now, the reason why I'm showing you these 2 fences is because there's a thing called line dependency. It's a thing common to people that draw, but it also found its way into 3D art. Now, what line dependency means is that people tend to think in shapes, okay? So if I were to ask you to draw a football or a soccer ball, to be exact, you would probably draw a round circle. So you would have a black line on a white space simulating a ball. Now, that's not how the world works, okay? When you look at a house, it's not a black line on a piece of paper which represents a square with a pointy top on it, okay? So what you need to do as an artist is move away from this line dependency and start to think in shapes, in shades, and in colors more than outlined lines, okay? And as you do that, you will find that more interesting shapes and more interesting textures, tones, and lighting will make your work look much better and will improve your chances on getting hired, okay? So let's go to the next one to illustrate that. Okay, another example of line dependency. On the left, you see a brand new house, it looks like, and you can see everything is perfectly straight. Now, that doesn't mean that that doesn't happen when you're modeling. You know, it could be, but if you want to have some sort of artistic impression, you will agree that the one on the right is much more appealing and probably more fun to model in the first place. Okay? All right, so on to the next one. References. Well, specifically, for example, when you're modeling for science fiction, you will have to come up with all sorts of methods to make something look sci-fi, right? Now, references is everything. The title of this video is Get Real, okay? Now, what you want to do to make your models believable is try to adapt methods that are existing in real life whenever possible. For example, how hydraulic hoses are connected, how nuts and bolts are set up, little labels, serial numbers, barcodes, that kind of stuff. So look at industrial equipment, look at medical gear, look at real life existing robots. That will help you. Now, not only in sci-fi, but basically in any area. If you're looking at, I don't know, modeling a piece of garden equipment, okay? So where is it green stained by grass? Where do you have kind of edge wear and so forth? So I can't say this enough, use references, okay? All right, on to the next one. Skill. Now, skill is something that I see every day, and I find it hard to believe that people are struggling with that so much. But what I see all the time is images of objects placed in rooms where the object is tiny and the room is huge, okay? So what I would suggest is you start off by creating an object that is roughly 6 feet high. It can be a cube or anything like that, just to represent a human, so you get a better sense of how high a ceiling should be, how tall a street light is, you know, how big a mailbox is, and so forth. A lot of this information can be found online, but it pays off to work accurately on scale, okay? All right, so what's next? I think this one is pretty obvious. I purposely took 2 pictures, one that is completely blown out and has way too much light, and the other one that's way too dark. Now, why is lighting important for a 3D modeler? Well, that depends. If you create the model, but you don't do any texturing, lighting, and so forth, maybe not as much, but in most cases, you want to present your work in the best way possible, right? Now, for that, my suggestion would be to invest time in photography, look at composition, look at lighting, look at any type of traditional art, you can. Look at paintings and so forth. If you're going to present your model, do that in a way that's appealing and that looks as real as possible if that is what you're going for. Okay? All right, what's next? The most important one of all, the story. Now, Walt Disney once said that an animator is an actor with a pencil, right? Well, that's basically the same deal for a 3D artist. The computer is a tool and nothing more than that. What you're going for is you want to tell a story, right? Whether it's through a model or an animation, you want to tell a story to your audience and you're using a computer to do that, okay? So let's say you are creating a character that is tanned by the sun, has scars on his face, has blood on his hands, and so forth. He's telling a story. Where has he been? You know, has he traveled? Has he been through the desert? Whatever. It's much more appealing. So before you start to model, whatever you're modeling, whenever relevant, try to think of a story, okay? It can be as simple as modeling a table. Let's say the table is situated in a monastery and the monastery is 1,000 years old. Well, you're going to have a big wooden heavy table that is, you know, has a lot of wear to it and so forth. So be creative and think about that storyline, okay? So that's basically it. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my other channel, by the way, which is all related to photo, film, and FX. I think it will be very beneficial for you as a 3D artist for the reasons that I just mentioned, okay? So that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching and see you guys next time. Bye. Well, thanks for watching. And before you go, please hit that MH button to subscribe, okay? See you guys next time. Bye.